Caressa Nguyen Ione ko. Hi, my name is Caressa Nguyen. I'm a citizen of the Ione Band of Miwok Indians and co-founder of Sacred Lands Native Hands. I like to say that I'm the quintessential California mix because I'm Vietnamese, Filipino, and Miwok. California has one of the largest Vietnamese diasporic communities. Tagalog is the third most spoken language in California after Spanish, and I'm Indigenous to California. Growing up, my grandmother always made sure that we participated in our culture, making pine nut beads, being on the land, going out and gathering on my family's land in Ione has grounded me in my understanding of how policy impacts the environment, of how policy impacts my community. So Sacred Lands Native Hands is a 501c3 organization that essentially seeks to help Indigenous peoples regain access to traditional territories and restore Indigenous ecological knowledge to the land. Sacred Lands Native Hands was born out of a conversation at a permaculture design training with a woman named Alexandra Corelli, who is from the East Coast but found herself in the Sierras with immense access to lands. And all of these lands are the homelands of the Anishinaabe, Miwok, Maidu, etc. Whereas Indigenous peoples are still struggling to access our traditional territories. So we decided to create a bridge to address that gap in access to land. One of the most important things for me to share as a parent is what has driven a lot of my work, and that's the responsibility that is told to us in our Miwok creation story. And when I gave birth, the first words that I spoke to my son were in our Miwok language. He plays traditional instruments like the clapper stick, hand drum. We're raising him to cultivate his own relationship with the land. Native American Heritage Month to me is a time to acknowledge, honor, and amplify the Indigenous peoples of the lands that you occupy. Whether it be donating to tribally led efforts, giving Indigenous peoples a seat on your board. I think one of the most important things that we can do during this time is to reflect on how lands were dispossessed and how do we right those wrongs.